Welcome to the Ovation of the Seas, one of the giant ships of Royal Caribbean's Quantum class. At 168,000 gross tons, this is a big ship and it has a lot to offer. So join me, maritime history author Chris Frame, for a highlights tour on board Ovation of the Seas. I toured Ovation of the Seas as a guest of Royal Caribbean. The first thing you'll notice about Ovation of the Seas is the scale of the ship, which is very impressive in terms of her external appearance and her internal amenities. With such a large ship, you'll need to find your way around. So the ship has digital wayfinders which help you find your way about the ship. Also, all of the lifts have the day of the week on the floor, so you can always work out what day of the week it is when you're at sea, when time flies and you have no other real reason to know what day it is. The ship's interior is a bit like a hotel. It was actually one of the first cruise ships that I went on board where in many areas I had to stop and think, is this a hotel or is this a ship? The ship has a hotel-style ambience and unique artworks throughout. It's bright and airy, with a modern and clutter-free appearance. Stepping into the main atrium area, known as the Royal Esplanade, all the space becomes evident, with a large open well area and plenty of shops, including many high-end designer labels. So let's check out some of the top amenities. And we'll start in the gigantic Casino Royale, all the way down on Deck 3. Here there are heaps of gaming tables, and more slot machines than I could even count. But if gaming isn't your thing, or you're tired out from pulling that slot machine lever too many times, check out the fitness and spa facility. This area is named Vitality, and provides a range of spa amenities and treatment areas, including couples treatment rooms, as well as a salon and fitness centre. Or perhaps you might prefer to get some sun on the open decks, and here Ovation of the Seas has you covered. There are heaps of on-deck amenities, including swimming pools, deck chairs and sunbathing areas, as well as a special semi-shaded solarium at the forward end of the ship. Ovation of the Seas also offers a large on-deck water park, which has areas for both adults and areas for kids to enjoy. Nearby you'll find the Northern Star, perhaps one of the most unique features on board. This is a pod-like structure with a giant arm that raises into the air for a 360-degree view, and replaces the traditional Viking crowned lounge that used to be found on Royal Caribbean ships. The ship also has a flow rider for surfing fans, and a skydiving simulator, and like all Royal Caribbean ships, Ovation of the Seas has a rock climbing wall. There are also a number of fun elements around the ship. Some that I spotted included a giant panda and a combi van. These features give Ovation of the Seas a unique appearance, but some were also practical. For example, the combi van led to a hot dog house. In fact, there are plenty of dining options on board, and one option, near the Royal Esplanade, is Izumi, which is Japanese cuisine and is situated on Deck 5, while lovers of Asian cuisine can also check out Silk on Deck 4. This is a spacious dining area with a varied menu inspired by multiple countries in Southeast Asia. The ship also offers a specialty chef restaurant, Jamie's Italian. It features a funky Jamie Oliver-inspired fit-out and serves dishes that Jamie Oliver is well known for. Ovation has a Windjammer Cafe, the main Royal Caribbean buffet, and a cafe promenade where you can grab a coffee, as well as the chef's table providing a unique private dining experience for up to 16 people. The options continue with an American grill, or if you're wanting to immerse yourself in an unusual and unique alternative universe, check out Wonderland, which is themed after Alice in Wonderland. This space gives an otherworldly dining experience. The ship's Royal Esplanade is fantastic. Not only does it give you a great perspective as to the size of the ship, which is equivalent to an 18-story building, but it acts as a functional and engaging thoroughfare for travellers to get around the ship. Ovation offers a large show lounge at the very bow of the vessel named the Royal Theatre. This is where the Broadway-style shows are presented, and RCI also use it for other entertainment throughout the day. If you ask me, this would be a great venue for a maritime history lecture all about Royal Caribbean's important contribution to the global cruise industry. Hint, hint, RCI. RCI was featured in our new book, The Evolution of the Passenger Ship.
This video is brought to you by me and my new book, The Evolution of the Passenger Ship. In The Evolution of the Passenger Ship, we've brought years' worth of research together to create a book that takes you on a journey from the dawn of passenger shipping right the way through to the modern behemoths that we see in the cruise market today. The Evolution of the Passenger Ship is available at all good bookshops, and if you make a purchase, you help us by supporting the channel. Thanks so much, and now back to the video.
The show lounge has great sightlines, and you can see the terraced seating here with the chairs that fold down, and a very large stage. Another interesting feature on board is the Bionic Bar. When Ovation of the Seas entered service back in 2016, this was a novel and unique offering of the Quantum class. You can use a touch panel to order a cocktail, and the robotic barman will actually make the cocktail for you. It still has quite a lot of novelty value, although mercifully, there are many other bars and lounges throughout the ship that are served by human bartenders, which I much prefer. One such area is Schooners. It has a lovely nautical theme, which I like, given my love of ship history. On that topic, now is probably a good time to tell you that the Ovation of the Seas was the third of the Quantum class, after the class leader, Quantum of the Seas, and the middle child, Anthem of the Seas. After Ovation, RCI upscaled the Quantum class further, adding Spectrum and Odyssey in the Quantum Ultra class, which is really just a fancy way of saying we changed a few things on board. So, in reality, there are 5 ships in this family. Back on board Ovation, you can find a bumper car arena called the Seaplex. Yep, despite the motion of the ship, they created this. It is very interesting, and something that people might not necessarily expect to find on a ship. The area also doubles as a basketball arena, when not in use for bumper cars, which is great for those who like to shoot some hoops. The ship offers heaps of entertainment venues, such as a music hall, where you can dance the night away. There's vintages, as well as an English pub, and a pizzeria called Sorrento, and 270 with the best views. So there are plenty of areas for you to enjoy the ambience on board the ship. And finally, a quick peek at the cabins, which range in size and scale from inside accommodation to ocean view cabins, to balcony cabins, and the suites. So what do you think of Ovation of the Seas? Have you cruised on board? What do you love about the ship? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for future cruise news and maritime history. Thanks once again for watching, and until next time, I hope to see you on board.